Hey guys, what's up? It's xDarkbringer here, bringing you guys a match of domination on ambush, and I'm gonna be starting off using the M21 because at the time I was just trying to finish getting the 100 kills with it, and then I switched to the AK-47 because I started having a pretty good game, and every time I switch to the AK, it'll just give me an even better game. So there wasn't really any specific gun or anything I did specifically that I could talk about or be my topic to talk about. So I'm going to go through a very broad topic because this is a long game, which is the CoD4 maps. So first one I'm going to be talking about is Ambush, which is the map I'm playing right now. If you guys have played Ambush, you know that there's probably 3 or 4 sniper buildings that everyone loves to go in. If you're sniping, I would try to stay away from that. And if you want to try to get up into where the snipers are, grenades are always a good bet. Because I think 2 of the sniper buildings are open, like there's no roof or only one window to look out. So throw grenades if snipers are being annoying, and also go through some of the side alleys and whatnot, because not everyone looks there, and you can get good flanking positions and also good positions to take out the snipers. So that's ambush for you. Next is backlot, which is one of my favorite maps. And you'll probably know that there's I'd say it's either a 2 or 3 story building in the middle near the burning tank or whatever that everyone loves to go in. That building, the building at the back, probably none of this makes sense, but there's 3 buildings in backlot that a lot of people like to stay in, which is the building I just talked about, the 2-story building in the middle, then there's one on each side of backlot, which everyone loves to snipe in. I would stay away from those. All these places that are really popular are always good to stay away from if you're new to this game, because you can't really handle a lot of people when you're new to this game, but when you're good, well, I'm not saying I'm good or anything, but if you're good enough at this game and you're at these high traffic areas, then you can just take out enemies over and over again. So if you're looking for high kills, and if you're somewhat good at this game, then I'd go and camp in one of those 3 buildings. Next is block. Terrible map, to be honest. There's those 2 buildings that everyone just snipes across. I would, just as a side note, try not to snipe in block. Like, run around with maybe UAV jammer, dead silence, and bomb squad, and take out the guys that are trying to snipe in those 2 buildings, because you'll catch them with their pants down and you'll get a lot of kills. Next is bog. Bog, I know you can spawn trap the guys on either side really well. It's a good map for snipers and assault rifles. My main thing for bog is staying on the hill in the middle and just shooting and taking cover behind it, and shooting and taking cover. That's the most effective strategy I can provide for bog. It's a really good map. The 3 frag grenades are also good on bog. Just chucking them over at their spawn is really effective. Next up is broadcast. Not too much to say about broadcast because I think it's a pretty balanced map. If you're looking for a good score, I'd try to stay on the inside of the map, just because not a lot of people are going to be outside, and you can get more kills that way. Also try to stay away from that window everyone likes to look out, that looks out onto the office, because people just throw grenades up there randomly and you'll die and be pissed. Chinatown, I'd say, is a very awkward map. You can always camp in buildings for good scores, but I mean, mixing it up and running around with an SMG will always work as well. Put on that bomb squad too, though, because a lot of people like to plant claymores. Okay, so next up is Creek. I hate this map. I despise it. Everyone loves to snipe on it. It's just, I don't know, I feel it's a terrible map. Try to flank guys through the cave, but throw stuns when you're about to come out of the cave, because there's guys that are always ready to just camp there and get you unsuspectedly. I don't know if that's a fucking word. Who cares though? Okay, next up is Kill House. Everyone loves to just snipe across at each other from
Two little buildings, although running around with an SMG and 3 frags always fun, and I'd recommend using that for a good score and more interesting gameplay. Next up is Countdown. If you guys have seen my previous video, you know you can spawn trap the shit out of the other team. So I'd really work on just your spawn trapping for that map. Crash is a map I love. I really recommend camping the 3-story building or the blue building. Well, I don't recommend camping because camping isn't cool, but yeah, that will give you a good score. Next up is Crossfire. I'd recommend staying in any of the buildings along the street because everyone loves to snipe in each of the buildings, and if you're smart, you can take them out before they take you out. Next up is District. I hate this map. There's really no recommendations because it's so random, but I'd stay in the middle marketplace because there's guys always running by there, and you can get them while they're running, and they can't do anything when they're running. So, next up is Downpour. Another map I don't like. Sitting on the roof of the middle building is a really good strategy, and also going through some of the side parts of the map to get through flanking routes and whatnot. Next up is Overgrown. The main thing I can just say about Overgrown is to just stay on top of the one house that is just a great spot. You can get guys from all directions. So that's what I recommend for Overgrown. Next up is Pipeline, which is a really big map. I wouldn't recommend going through the underground unless it's search and destroy and you really want to flank the enemy team. You can go on top of one of I think it's the biggest building of the map, so I'd recommend going on top of there. Next up is Shipment, and there's really not much to say about Shipment because it's a really random map and it's really small. So if you're looking for a good score, I would camp corners or running around would give you exciting gameplay as well. Showdown is next. I would recommend staying on the top level and just having control of their spawn and looking for people on the ground and making sure they don't get up the stairs and kill you. Next up is Strike. I would stay away from that building that everyone likes to stay in, but then again, if you're good and you can take on, large numbers of enemies, then that building is definitely a recommendation. But just running around and flanking them, that's the strategy, guys. You got flank the enemy. You gotta get the spawn on them, and you gotta just spawn camp them, cause they'll get pissed. They won't be doing what they should, and you'll be getting the advantage. So next up is Vacant. There's that one place that everyone loves to stay. I'm not sure. I think it's where A or B is for search and destroy. I'd recommend staying in there, hiding behind a barrel with an RPD or something, and taking out the enemy team. Snipers also work well on that map. Next up is Wet Work. I don't like Wet Work. It's a really linear level, and 3 frags is just the way to go. And using an assault rifle and staying on top of one of the bridges. So that's it for the CoD4 maps, guys. I know I went through them really quickly, but this is just a quick overview of each of them. Hopefully it helps you out a bit. See you later, guys.